With Memorial Day weekend approaching, so many Texans are going to be hitting our local lakes to spend some fun time on the water. But with that, you always have to think about the warnings that go along with boating safety. And joining us now is Dr. Kevin Smith. He is an emergency medicine physician at St. David's Round Rock Medical Center. And Dr. Smith, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me, Quita.
Okay, everyone loves being out on the water, being out in a boat, but what are some of the most common boating-related injuries that you guys see this time of year?
This time of year, we see a lot of heat exposure, people getting dehydrated on the water, and then unfortunately alcohol-related injuries with impairment and traumatic injury.
So it's not just motorized boats that can cause an injury. These injuries can happen anywhere.
Unfortunately, yeah, paddleboarding is also a risk. You know, you can get dehydrated, you can get first-degree burns from sunburns, and people still have risk of getting in the water when they're impaired, and that's when the trouble really starts.
Okay, speaking of being impaired, with the water levels so low, what do people really need to watch out for and stay safe?
My recommendation is if you think that you're going to swim to an island that's now visible because the water is so low, don't give it a try. There is an island in Lake Travis called Sometimes Island, and if you try and swim there, sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. So stay close to your boat and your flotation device.
Good answer. Do not swim to Sometimes Island, please. And I know having a life jacket, that's, I believe, a law here in Texas as well, but how do you make sure that one actually fits correctly?
Yeah, I think of it as like, what do you want it to do? So if it needs to keep you afloat, it probably needs to fit all the way around the person, like well when it's closing. And two, you need to be able to stay in it. So if you get in the water and your arms go up, is it going to fall off? So the kind of practical thing is to put it on you and have your friend try and lift it off of you. And if they can't, then it's going to be working. Good
deal. Well, what are some of the other, I guess, water-related injuries we can see aside from boating?
Yeah, I think that people having traumatic injuries, paddleboarding, any kind of exposure while swimming are very common, and then sunscreen and sun exposure.
Now, for sun exposure, how do you know when somebody has had too much sun? Yeah. What signs do we need to look out for?
Yeah, I think about dehydration, I think about confusion. And when you add alcohol to this, you know, you worry about someone who's maybe not acting normally anymore, who's really starting to seem like they're out of it.
All right. Dr. Kevin Smith with St. David's Round Rock Medical Center, thank you so much for being with us. And everybody, definitely take his tips to heart if you are heading out to local lakes.
Thank you, Quita.